Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise to speak at the third reading of the Victims' Orders Offenders Bill against violent crime. I think this is a bill that we all support for the right reasons. It shouldn't need to be here, but the statistics speak for themselves, and it is an essential piece of legislation. This is a new, stronger restraining order to protect the victims of serious, violent or sexual crimes from unwanted contact with their attackers. Why would they ever want anything to do with these people? Why do we not give them the power to actually restrain these offenders from living in their neighbourhoods, approaching them in any way? Why has this law taken so long, I suppose? But at least it's here now. I think we're all familiar with the example. There was one in Invercargill where a woman was unable to defend herself and keep the individual who had previously attacked her at bay. An unacceptable situation, and under the current legislation, the protection and restraining orders are only available for what they term active harassment, or if there's a domestic relationship between the offender and the victim. Release and parole conditions only apply for 6 months after the offender's release. Unfortunately, this has resulted in a lot of victims having no access to legal protection. It's not good enough, and they are re-victimised. I think that the unacceptability of a situation where a victim of a serious crime may have that unwanted contact with their attacker is something that would keep you awake at night. It is a horrifying situation, and I think that when it comes to a piece of legislation that will work well, this is it. As other speakers have pointed out, when it went through the select committee process, they changed it from 5 years to 2 years. So if a violent offender has been sentenced to 2 years, then that is enough to trigger the threshold and to allow the victim to go to the district court and apply for this by way of conditions. I think that's a very good move. I think that the legislation is important, and I'm very pleased to be able to support it tonight in this House. Thank you.
Split call, Kelvin Davis.
It is a split call, Mr Speaker. Thank you very much. Mr Speaker, coming in as one of the last final speakers on the third reading of the bill means that I've actually come in quite late on this debate and quite late on the whole